They were in theory here to talk about the Western Balkans and digital innovation across Europe, but not for the first time. The current resident of the White House and his unilateral actions seem to have hijacked the European agenda. We heard yesterday from Angela Merkel, the German Chancellor, speaking to Parliament, that the decision for the US to pull out of the Iran deal was, quote, troubling news. Remember, of course, that Emmanuel Macron, the French president, was in Washington not so long ago trying to salvage that deal, just as European leaders tried to salvage the Paris Climate Agreement, just as they tried to stop the US president from announcing that they'd be moving the embassy from Tel Aviv to Jerusalem. But the most stern and fierce criticism we've heard about Donald Trump comes from another Donald Tusk, the European Council president. He spoke yesterday about Donald Trump's capriciousness, but he had quite a few other choice words. Take a listen.
Looking at the latest decisions of President Trump, someone could even think, with friends like that, who needs enemies? But frankly speaking, Europe should be grateful by President Trump, because thanks to him we have got rid of all illusions. He has made us realize that if you need a helping hand, you will find one at the end of your arm. Europe must do everything in its power to protect, in spite of today's mood, the transatlantic bond.
Donald Tusk sat down for dinner here last night with more than 24 European leaders. They wanted to talk about the Iran deal, they wanted to talk about events in Gaza, and they also wanted to talk about tariffs. And of course, you know, the European exemption on steel and aluminium tariffs from the US runs out in less than 2 weeks at this point. They have asked for permanent exemptions. They've said they will not renegotiate trade with the United States until those exemptions are made permanent. Also, there were conversations this morning expected between Donald Tusk and Theresa May, the British Prime Minister. That will be on things including security cooperation. The British Prime Minister is in this part of Europe talking about Britain's continued future as a security partner of the European Union. And on that note, you know, worth remembering the UK, along with Germany and France, the 3 European signatories to that Iran deal, the JCPOA as it's known formally, they got a briefing last night from the EU head of foreign policy, Federica Mogherini. She, of course, is one of the people responsible for building that deal up with Iran, and the US Secretary of State, as he was John Kerry. She briefed those leaders over dinner last night. And just going into today, the big question really is whether the Europeans can take action, can win sanctions waivers from the US administration for firms, Steve, like you were talking about, including Total.
Hey everybody, it's Hadley Gamble from our new CNBC Middle East Bureau in Abu Dhabi. Thanks for stopping by. Now to watch more, you can try one of the videos that just popped up on your screen. And don't forget to subscribe.